It's the skies where there are thousands of people waking up where they weren't expecting to this morning. If you look at Birmingham Airport, that's been closed since 9:30 last night. Diversions to Heathrow, Manchester, Liverpool, East Midlands, which then closed itself. Thousands of people were sitting around at the airport all through the evening hoping to be able to get out. They didn't.
Storm Goretti has brought 99-mile-an-hour winds and heavy snow to parts of the UK. At one point overnight, over 70,000 homes were without power. Birmingham Airport has closed and the red weather warning, which is a danger to life, has now ended. But there's plenty more snow on the way for some. Let's get the very latest with Joe Wheeler, meteorologist. Morning, Joe.
Good morning to you.
So where are the worst affected places?
Well, Cornwall for sure. As you mentioned, a lot of places are without power there. I think the A30 has been blocked by falling trees. They had heavy snow and, of course, they saw the strongest winds. Many places reported gusts over 100 miles per hour, but those haven't been verified yet. So officially, 99 miles per hour is the strongest wind. But Padstow reported 123. I mean, those winds are phenomenal and more than capable of doing a lot of damage. You've already mentioned the fact that many homes are without power. It's not just in Cornwall, but into the West Midlands, parts of Wales as well. And that system is still moving its way across the country. Now, many of the warnings do expire quite early on this morning, but for wind and rain, that continues over eastern counties until 9 o'clock tonight. So this storm isn't finished with us yet. It's currently across central areas, still giving some snow and pushing slowly away towards the east. What has been very complicated about this one is that it was an area of very mild air carrying a lot of moisture that ran straight into that Arctic air, which has been across the country. Now, usually we'd see a little bit of snow, then that would turn back to rain and everything would just become milder. But that's not the case with this one. What's happening is as it moves across, it's pulling the cold air from the north back in, which is why we've seen a system which really kind of goes snow, rain, snow. And then, of course, after that, you've got the potential for ice. Temperatures are still quite low. So this system is going to take until about 9 o'clock tonight to eventually clear away from eastern shores. And we go back into that cold air. So once again, there has to be an attempt with weather from the Atlantic trying to push its way in, bringing these milder conditions. And at the moment, it looks as though it could be Sunday that we see yet another rain belt coming in from the west and again meeting up with that cold air and potentially giving some further snow.
Gosh, thank you, Joe. That's Joe Wheeler, meteorologist. Understandably, Storm Goretti has caused major disruption, trains, roads, flights, all sorts of things. Let's get the latest from travel journalist Simon Calder. Morning, Simon.
Good morning. Where do you want to start? Trains, boats, planes?
The worst.
Okay, probably actually railways, because an awful lot of your listeners are going to be waking up and wanting to catch trains which are simply not going to be running. We've got lots of do not travel warnings. The whole of Cornwall was cut off from about 6 p.m. last night. There is a train on its way right now from Exeter. I'm tracking it to Plymouth, continuing, they hope, into Cornwall, which will open things up there. But the biggest problems now are in the Midlands, particularly trains that's serving Nottingham. Lots and lots of closures there. Avanti West Coast is saying don't try and travel on our West Midlands services from Birmingham and Coventry to London. There's closures right across the Peak District on a number of trains until tomorrow. And so therefore, if you're in that affected region, you really need to have a look and see what your options are. And more widely, cross country has been cancelling and curtailing dozens of trains because their network is centred on Birmingham New Street. Lots of problems there. And there's also, of course, issues in Cornwall. So check before you travel on the railways. The ferries, actually, if we're going on to boats, aren't too bad at all, considering we've had a number of delays and, in fact, yesterday, lots of preponements. That means putting a ferry earlier in order to avoid the worst of the weather. Some cancellations today, England to France, Wales to Ireland, but getting back on track later. It's the skies where there are thousands of people waking up where they weren't expecting to this morning. If you look at Birmingham Airport, that's been closed since 9:30 last night. Diversions to Heathrow, Manchester, Liverpool, East Midlands, which then closed itself. myself, thousands of people were sitting around at the airport all through the evening, hoping to be able to get out. They didn't. That includes a Boeing 777 on its way to Dubai, so that's stuck there. It was actually the last plane that got in last night. And elsewhere, British Airways has cancelled 40 flights from its base, London Heathrow, to and from places in Europe, and indeed domestic flights. And in total, there's 50 cancellations in and out of Heathrow this morning. That is purely reducing the number of flights so that they can be spaced out more safely.
Simon, thank you so much. That is the travel journalist Simon Calder. So we're going to be keeping across this, of course, throughout breakfast this morning. Currently, we are told the latest update from the National Grid is that around 57,000 properties are without power, 43,400 in the southwest of England, 13,700 in the West Midlands, 600 in Wales and 1,700 in the East Midlands. We are told that, and the officials are telling us, in the Midlands, they are preparing for the worst snow in a decade. 30 centimetres or 11 inches in old money is expected to fall. So it will obviously have huge impact on this morning's travel. I think the most important thing is stay safe. If it's bad where you are, just stay inside and try and stay warm.
For the safety of passengers and colleagues, we will be working to thin out our service. Packed rail services nationwide. Please check you can complete your journey before attempting to travel.
Continue that road.